Good morning, students. Today in my class, I will continue with part 4 of the explanation of the play Box and Cox by John Maddison Morton. So let's begin our class. In today's class, I will explain page number 73 and 74. So, in my last video, we already saw Mr. Box, who is a printer and who comes to his room in the early morning. And while he was coming up, he met Mr. Cox there in the stairs, and Mrs. Bouncer told Mr. Cox about Mr. Box that he is the person who stays in the attic. And Mr. Cox also complained about certain things, and the last thing that he complained about was the smoke that he normally finds filled up in his room. And as it was said by Mrs. Bouncer that this smoke comes from the chimney, and it is from the person who stays in the attic who smokes tobacco all the time. So as she was complained about this, she knew who is the person actually who smokes. So as Mr. Box arrived and Mrs. Bouncer complained him not to smoke, and Mr. Box, he got very annoyed when he heard about this, and he told that if this man who stays in the attic, if he is finding it problem, or if he finds it quite difficult to bear with that smoke, he can easily find some other places in the nearby parish. So Mrs. Bouncer got worried here because, like in this way, if Mr. Box behaves, then definitely she will have to get deprived of one of his lodger, and out of one single room, she was earning double. And Mr. Box, now as he arrived and as he was about to enter his room, and he was almost there, and he wants to take some rest, so he was very annoyed as he encountered this lady every morning. Now let us see what Mr. Box has to tell us. It's quite extraordinary the trouble I always have to get rid of this venerable female. She knows I am up all night, and yet she seems to set her face against my indulging in a horizontal position by day. Now see, this man who works all night and who comes back early morning, definitely he will be tired. Okay, and early morning when you come to your room and find someone else inside there, you will definitely get annoyed, irritated, and you'll feel angry. The same thing which Mr. Box encountered is that every morning he finds Mrs. Bouncer there. So he got annoyed and he thought that I always have to get rid of this venerable female. So venerable, in a very humorous tone, he wants to say that someone who gets involved into something for a long time. So Mrs. Bouncer was that sort of a lady because she has to indulge in all these things, because she has to change the directions of the room so that Mr. Box doesn't find that someone else was using his room. She knows I am up all night, and yet she seems to set her face against my indulgence in a horizontal position by day. Now see, he is tired, he wants to sleep now. So as Mrs. Bouncer is already there, he can't sleep or he can't take rest. So he got irritated. Now see, now let me see, shall I take my nap before I swallow my breakfast, or shall I take my breakfast before I swallow my nap? I mean, shall I swallow my nap before? No, never mind, I have got a leg of chicken somewhere. Now as Mrs. Bouncer left, and this was all completely, now Mr. Box is all alone inside in his room, and he is talking to himself that this lady is quite annoying, and every morning I have to encounter him. Now since this lady is gone, he thought that I will take some rest, I'll sleep. But at that time he thought that before I take my sleep, shall I have my breakfast, or I will take a nap, then I'll have my breakfast. So he was quite confused actually, whether he'll sleep or whether he will eat his breakfast first, or then he will sleep, or he will sleep then have his breakfast. So like he got confused, and at that point of time he remembered that he got a leg of chicken somewhere, means he brought with him a leg of chicken. So feeling in his pockets, he put his hands inside his pocket, and he found, or in his vivid recollection, he was quite clear that he purchased it. So, oh, where it is, produces it wrapped in paper and places it on a table. So he was quite clear that he purchased one chicken leg, and he put his hand inside his pocket and he found a piece of leg which was wrapped up in paper. A piece of chicken was there. So that was his breakfast. And oh, here it is, produces it wrapped in paper and places it on table. And a penny roll. So he also brought one penny roll with him. Now, in order to cook that chicken leg piece, he has to light his fire up first. The next thing is to light the fire. Now, in order to light the fire, he wanted those matches. He wants that matchbox. Now, where are my matches? Looking on the mantelpiece right and taking a box, opens it. So mantelpiece, there was a stand like thing nearby that fireplace, and he always kept that matches or that matchbox in that mantelpiece inside a box. So he went there, he went to the mantelpiece on the right hand side, he opened that box, and he wanted actually that matchbox. Now open my life, this is too bad of Mrs. Bouncer. This is by several degrees too bad. I had a whole box full 3 days ago, and now there's only one. Now see, Mr. Box is a person who stays away all night from his room. So a person who stays away all night from his room, for him he doesn't require a matchbox to light a fire at night, or he even doesn't require candles or coals. Got it? So he calculated certain things and he brought one matchbox, and he thought that this matchbox, which he was not in need of it much, it will be there for some days. Okay, he can use it for some more days. He calculated in that way and he bought that. But now when he opened that box and when he saw that the matchbox was almost empty, and his direct suspicion was whom? It was Mrs. Bouncer. So he thought that this lady is really very irritating now, and I think that this is the person who is actually using my stuff. Now same thing happened to Mr. Cox also. He also suspected that it is Mrs. Bouncer actually who is using his stuff, but since he is ignorant of the fact that this room was also shared by another person, so now he saw that matchbox was almost, when he bought that matchbox and kept it in that box, it was almost full, and now it's almost gone. And he told that this matchbox could continue for, or like I could have used it for 3 days more, or this matchbox which he bought was 3 days ago and he was not there in the room for 3 days, and now the matches were almost gone. It's almost half empty. Now this is by several degrees too bad. I had a whole box full 3 days ago, so 3 days ago he brought that matchbox, it was almost full, and now there is only one. So now only one matchstick was there. So a person who doesn't stay up all night in that room, who doesn't light a fire or who doesn't light a candle, for a person like him, the matchbox which he brought 3 days ago would last some more days, but when he opened it now, he saw that only one matchstick was there. I am perfectly aware that she purloins my coals and my candles and my sugar, but I think, oh yes, I did think that my matches would be sacred. Takes candlestick of the mantelpiece right hand, in which there is a very small end of the candle looks in. Now after that match box, he also thought that this person, means Mrs. Bouncer, is the only person who actually steals my things. Purloins means stealing, that she comes to my room in my absence, she takes my things, she uses everything and she goes away. So this is the lady actually who steals all my stuff. So he calculated that my matchstick is almost gone now. Then also he thought that my candles, my sugar, my coals, these are also diminishing very fast. So this is the lady actually who is using all my articles and it is diminishing very fast. So he brings such things and he calculates that this will survive for some more days. So now when he saw that all these things are diminishing, he directly suspects Mrs. Bouncer, the same way which Mr. Cox suspected her. Now he tells that in order to light that fire, I will be needing this matchbox, and only one matchstick was there. So He took out that matchbox. Now he's also quite clever, because when you use one matchstick, if it goes off, then he doesn't have any. So he thought that better I will light one candle. So he went to that mantelpiece again, which is on the right hand side, and he wanted that candle. He wants that candle so that he could light it and light the fire. So when he took that candle, he saw that only a very small end of the candle was there. Now that's quite weird, because a person who doesn't stay all night in his room, who will use a candle? Definitely he will not use. So now also he got angry, because his candle is also half burnt, is almost gone. Only a small end of the candle was left. Mr. Box was quite annoyed here, and now he tells that now I should like to ask any unprejudiced person or persons their opinion touching this candle. Now he thought that he would like to ask someone who does not hold any sort of preconceived ideas or some fixed ideas about his candle being touched. All right, because he clearly reasons it that in the first place, actually a candle is such a thing or an article which he doesn't require. Definitely he doesn't require, because he doesn't stay in his room during the night. He goes out, or he stays in that printing press as he works there. So as he comes early in the morning and during the daytime, candle is such a thing that he doesn't require. But he brought that candle for certain reasons, like for lighting the fire or lighting the chimney. So this was a reason for which he actually brought. Now when he found that a candle is almost gone and only the end of the candle was left, he got annoyed and irritated here. Now, in the first place, a candle is an article that I don't require, because I am only at home in the daytime. And I brought this candle on the 1st of May, Chimney Sweeper's Day, calculating that it would last me 3 months. And here's 1 week, not half over, and the candle's 3 parts gone. Now actually when he bought such things, he calculated it. He is very calculative in using his things, and basically his candles, his matches, which he doesn't require much. So he thought that this will last for 3 more months, and he tells us that he bought this candle on the 1st of May. And here on the 1st of May means Chimney Sweeper's Day. So when he bought this candle, he calculated that this candle would last for 3 months. So it would last for 3 months, and now he tells us that it's only 1 week gone and not half over. Here's 1 week and not half over. And the candle which was there, it is almost gone. 3 parts of the candle is gone. Only 1 part of the candle is left. Lights the fire, takes down a gridiron which is hanging over the fireplace right inside, and Mrs. Bouncer has been using my gridiron. Now he left this issue regarding the candle. Now a time comes, like he wants to light up the fire and cook that chicken leg piece which he bought for his breakfast. So he went there right inside, and he brought his gridiron. Gridiron means a frame with metal bars on which actually food is grilled. So he brought that gridiron, and when he brought that gridiron and when he was about to place it on fire, he again came to know that this gridiron has been using by Mrs. Bouncer. So Mrs. Bouncer was also using his gridiron. And why he came to know that it was being used by Mrs. Bouncer? Because cooking, because as certain things was cooked there, the smell or the aroma was still coming from that gridiron, which Mr. Box recalls quite evidently that he did not use it earlier. Now see, Mr. Box now suspects Mrs. Bouncer that she is using his gridiron, because the last article which he cooked in that gridiron was a lamb chop, and now when he bought that gridiron, he could feel or he could smell the odor of red herrings in it. So red herrings is a fish. So since it was strongly impregnated with the odor of red herrings. Now the last article of consumption that I cooked upon, it was a lamb chop, and now it was powerfully impregnated with the odor of red herrings. So like other stuffs, his coal, his matchstick, his candle, he thought that this gridiron is also being used by her. Now he placed the gridiron on fire and then put a fork and lays down the bacon on the gridiron. So he took that chicken leg piece and put it upon the gridiron so that the chicken will get cooked. Now as he was cooking his breakfast, he felt sleepy because he was awake all night, and he was there in his office, in that printing press. He was doing his stuff, and as he fell asleep, and he thought that he will sleep for some time, and then again he will see the bacon whether it's cooked or not. And he was yawning. He was not sure exactly like what he will do, whether he will have his breakfast or he will sleep, or he will eat his breakfast first then sleep. But now, as he was feeling sleepy, now see how sleepy I am, to be sure. I would indulge myself with a nap if there was anybody here to superintend the turning of my bacon. Now, when he placed the bacon with the fork upon that gridiron, only one side of it will get cooked, and the other side you need to turn it on. So Mr. Box, he is now thinking that, like, as I'm feeling sleepy now and I want to take a nap, like if someone would have been here to superintend my bacon, or if someone would have been there to turn the leg piece so that the other side also gets cooked and it becomes ready. And he was yawning now, so perhaps it will turn itself. I must lie down, so here goes. Lies on the bed, close the curtains round him after a short pause. Enter Cox hurriedly from the left center. Now, as he was feeling sleepy, he thought that, okay, I'll put it upon the gridiron, it will get cooked in itself, and I'll lie down on my bed and I'll sleep for some time. I'll take a nap. So he went to his bed, he went to his bed, he closed the curtains, and for a short pause, he slept. And at that time, who enters is that Mr. Cox hurriedly enters is the in the room from the left hand side of the corner. So what happens after Mr. Cox enters in the same room where Mr. Box was also sleeping? We will continue this in the next class. We'll see what exactly happens when Mr. Cox comes and see Mr. Box sleeping in his room. So we'll see this in our next class. So these are some important words: venerable, humorous, someone who has been involved in something for a long time, set her face against, oppose, purloins, stills, touching, regarding, and gridiron, a frame with metal bars on which food is grilled. So these are some important questions. Question number 1, what are the different sorts of hats mentioned in the play? So this first question we already did in last class. Question number 2, and by the by, Mr. Box, he begged me to request you as a particular favor that you would not smoke quite so much. Question number A, who is he referred to here? He is Mr. Box. What is Mr. Box's advice for him? Mr. Box advises him that if this man has any difficulty with the effluvia of tobacco, he can domesticate himself to some adjoining parish, means he can move to some other places. Question number 3, what is Mr. Box's reply when Mrs. Bouncer said you surely wouldn't deprive me of a lodger? So Mrs. Bouncer, when she complained to Mr. Box about his smoking habits, and she told him that because of your behaviors or your habits, I am surely going to lose one of my lodger, and definitely she doesn't want to lose any of her lodgers because she was earning double money out of one single room. And she told Mr. Box not to smoke so much, and when Mr. Box got to know about it, he got very angry, and he told that if this man has any sort of difficulty with the effluvia of tobacco, he can definitely move to some other place to live. Question number 4, why does Box feel agitated when he starts cooking his breakfast? So early morning when Mr. Box came from his office, he was already annoyed because he had to encounter Mrs. Bouncer inside his room. And then after that, when he started cooking his breakfast, he found that his matchbox, which he brought 3 days ago, was almost gone. Only one matchstick was there. His candle, which he bought earlier, and which he calculated that it would stay for 3 months. Now only a week gone. Only a week. That too, half of a week is gone, and almost the third part of the candle was there. So he got agitated, and the gridiron which he brought down from the shelf to cook his chop, he also found that the gridiron was also smelling very strongly of red herrings. And he clearly remembered that the last thing which he cooked in that gridiron was a pork chop. So these were the reasons actually which Mr. Box felt agitated when he started cooking his breakfast. So these are some important questions from these parts. And with this, I end my class for today. And in the next video, we will wind up this play Box and Cox. And I request all of you to go through page number 74, 75, and 76, 77. So thank you everyone.